In today's video, we're going to be discussing how to replace the bearings inside of a trailer's wheel hub assembly. If you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe for more informational videos, life hacks, and such. Okay, now here we are. If you hear a little noise in the background, it's just the wind. It's a windy day today. But normally when the bearings break on your trailer while you're driving, you'll experience a little shaking and wobbling. And if you get out of the truck, come around, you'll notice it looks like that with the dust cover removed. So first thing you want to do is remove the tire. So we're going to take the tire off. Once you have the tire removed, next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the cotter pin. It should be about right here. All it does is it holds this hub assembly together. It keeps it on there, keeps this thing from unscrewing and you losing your wheel. Normally it protrudes down from the bottom and it wraps around. So you're going to unwrap it, get some needle nose pliers, unwrap it and pull it through. It might need a little persuasion. It's usually not that easy to do. So you're going to pull this through, unscrew this thing, and pull the whole assembly off. Alright, now that you have the whole wheel assembly pulled off, it should look something similar to this. This is left over from the bearings that had separated, and what you're going to use is a bearing puller. I don't have one with me right now. I use the hammer to get this off, but it's usually pressed on there really good. You're going to have to hammer it, or like I say, use a bearing puller to get it off. And basically you're just going to toss that when you're done. The tool I use to get the screw off for the wheel hub assembly, bought it at AutoZone. It's a socket 1/2 by 3/4, I believe. You don't necessarily have to use this. You could use a crescent wrench. It should work just fine. Next, what I'm going to do is we're going to take some purple power. We're just going to spray it on there real good. Just going to get an old towel and wipe this off. Got to make sure this is very clean. For this installation, I'm going to be reusing my old wheel hub. If you're going to be reusing your old wheel hub, make sure it's very clean on the inside and there's no damage or any missing metal. A lot of times, if you drive on it after the bearings break, this outer lip will be worn out. It'll be too worn out to put a new bearing in there and put the old dust cover back on. So you have to replace it with a new one. And I would suggest going to Northern Tools, or you can go to a trailer dealership. Just take the old one up there and match it up and they'll set you up with the right one. Alright, for the next step, we're gonna be using some multi-purpose grease. It doesn't have to be this kind, just any old multi-purpose grease that you use for bearings and axles and such. Then we're going to put the seal on and we're going to put the new bearings. I'm going to put the camera down and do this next step, but first you're going to put grease on the bearings real good. You're going to sit it down in there. Then we're going to put the seal in. You're going to get like a hammer and just tap lightly. Make sure that's seated in there correctly. Alright, now we're at the next step. First, we're going to take some multi-purpose grease. We're going to go around the axle. After you're done putting grease on the axle, we're going to mount the new wheel hub on there. It's not going to go all the way on there easily. It might take some persuasion. Normally for this step, I'll get a 2x4 or some kind of board, put it up against there and hit it with a sledgehammer. Now that you got the wheel hub on there and the bearing is packed nice and tight, you should be able to move it forward and backwards. There shouldn't be no sideways play in it. So make sure this is nice and snug. It shouldn't be so tight to where you can't move this, because it's not a good idea to over tighten this. It can strip. But this little notch should line up with the hole that's in the axle for the cotter pin, and you're on your way after that. Now for the last step, putting the dust cap on. If you ever buy a kit, it should come with this little plastic deal to kind of help you mount it. You hammer it around the edges and it fits nice and snug after that, or it should. In my case, I had to weld mine on because it didn't want to stay. Yes, I know, imperfect, but welcome to Larry's world. Thanks for watching. If you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe, share, comment, and I will see you on the next one.